Are the US and Iran readying for war? That's our top focus tonight on Gravitas. At the moment, things seem to be heading in the direction of a far more dangerous war in West Asia, one between America and Iran. You see, so far, they have fought via allies, but today those tensions have edged closer to the point of no return. After US President Donald Trump's explosive remarks where he vowed bombing if Tehran refuses to accept a new nuclear deal, Iran has reportedly called for preemptive strike on a remote US military base in the Indian Ocean. The Diego Garcia military base. You heard that right. According to the British daily, the Telegraph, Iranian military commanders are facing calls for preemptive strike on the Chagos Island base before US President Donald Trump uses it to attack the Islamic Republic. What's the trigger, you ask? America's deployment of B-2 Spirit jets there, aptly called ghosts in the sky. The B-2 bombers basically are capable of slipping past even the most advanced air defenses. And according to the latest satellite imagery, at least 3 B-2 Spirit jets arrived at the strategic outpost last week. Remember, the Diego Garcia base serves as a key launchpad for U.S. UK operations, especially in West Asia. The Telegraph cites pro-Iranian voices saying that the island should have been targeted long before America deployed bombers there. As per the British daily, the base supports B-1 Lancer, B-2 Spirit, the B-52 Stratofortress bombers. Additionally, at least 4,000 military personnel and contractors, the majority of whom are American, are also reportedly housed at the base there. According to Iranian state media, the B-2 Spirit bomber would likely use Diego Garcia as a launching point for any potential attack on Iran's vast underground facilities. Remember, that's where Iran stores all its advanced missiles and rockets, in highly fortified underground facilities. Take a look. But you see, experts say that unlike other conventional weapons, the American B-2 bombers are capable of striking underground compounds. In fact, that is B-2 Spirit jets' unique feature. So in case a war with Iran does break out, America could potentially use the B-2 bombers to target Iran's underground missile cities. And with these now stationed in Diego Garcia, Iran sees a direct threat. Because that's not all. Satellite images also show at least 3 C-17 cargo planes and 10 aerial refueling tankers at the Diego Garcia base. And these seem to have arrived here recently. And we've told you last week about the latest deployments. And then there is also the matter of the base itself. The highly strategic base has been used as a staging point for US strikes in West Asia on multiple occasions in the past. Iran is provoked. But Tehran is also not buckling under American pressure. An advisor to Iran's Supreme Leader has issued Iran's most alarming threat yet. If attacked, Iran will have no choice but to develop nuclear weapons. And these comments also come after Khamenei himself promised to hit back if Donald Trump carried out his threat to bomb Iran, if it did not make a deal to curb its nuclear program.
The enmity from the US and Israel has always been there. They threaten to attack us, which we don't think is very probable, but if they commit any mischief, they will surely receive a strong reciprocal blow.
And Iran also sends its message to the UN Security Council in a letter by its UN ambassador. Tehran has condemned what it described as warmongering provocations by America. And adding to the volatility, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, also making its position clear. Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh has warned that the US is sitting in a glass house. The Iranian general, in fact, has warned that American forces are dangerously exposed, saying that 10 American bases and 50,000 American troops in the region are within Iran's reach. Meanwhile, Ali Larijani, a top Iranian politician, has raised a rather important issue. Threats aside, could Iran actually build a nuclear weapon under a nuclear fatwa? Larijani says Iran could rethink it if the United States or Israel attacks Iran. And as far as Tehran is concerned, the ball really is in America's court. So suffice to say, tensions between Iran and the US are at an all-time high, and they have escalated since Trump has returned to the White House. Since taking office in January, Trump has reinstated what has been described as a maximum pressure policy. During his first term, that meant US withdrawing from the landmark agreement on Iran's nuclear program and reimposing sanctions on Tehran. In his second term, it is edging towards an all-out war, it seems. How close is war? It's hard to say, but things have definitely moved beyond just verbal threats. But could a war actually break out? Would Iran actually strike first? If so, what would an Iranian preemptive strike look like? Is Donald Trump serious about bombing Iran? Or is this yet another calculated move on his part to force Iran into negotiations? We will have to wait and watch. Shifting focus for now, Bangladesh's interim government chief advisor, Mohammad Yunus, has openly pitched for China as a key economic partner at the expense of India. Listen in to what he said first.
7 states of India, eastern part of India, called Seven Sisters, they are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean.
His remarks, made during a 4-day visit to China last week, were shared by his government on social media. Now, Yunus has painted a picture where Bangladesh holds the key to Northeast India's trade, transit and global connectivity, and even went further to suggest that this scenario presents an opportunity for China to integrate the region into its own economic expansion. But let's just be clear here. This is not just economic posturing by Yunus. India has long recognized the strategic challenge posed by the narrow Chicken's Neck corridor, the thin strip of land connecting Northeast India to the rest of the country, and that is why New Delhi has worked with past Bangladeshi governments, including that of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, to strengthen transit agreements and regional cooperation. But now Yunus appears to be doing the opposite, or at least trying to, signaling a pivot towards Beijing. And his remarks, by the way, have sparked sharp reactions in India. In a post on the platform X, Assam's chief minister slammed Yunus's statement as offensive and unacceptable, further stating that strengthening road and rail networks in the Chicken's Neck region needs to be a top priority, adding that India must also explore alternate routes to ensure that its northeastern states remain firmly connected to the mainland without over-reliance on external territories. During his meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jinping last Friday, Yunus sought increased Chinese investment to prop up Bangladesh's struggling economy. Bangladesh, you see, has been grappling with severe financial and political turmoil. We've been telling you about this. And it appears that he sees Beijing as the answer to those troubles, adding another layer of complexity to an already tense relationship between New Delhi and Dhaka. Looking ahead, Yunus is set to attend the BIMSTEC summit in Thailand later this week. He has reportedly requested for a meeting with the Indian Prime Minister. But as of now, New Delhi has not confirmed any engagement. In fact, Prime Minister Modi will be in Thailand on April 3-4, and India's strategic approach to the Northeast will certainly be among key discussion points within the regional grouping. Shifting focus for now, last Friday's powerful earthquake has left Myanmar reeling. The 7.7 magnitude quake struck with devastating force, flattening homes, toppling buildings, and leaving many dead or missing. The official death toll has now surged past 2,700, with fears that it could soon exceed 3,000. Rescue teams are in a desperate race against time, but conditions on the ground are making their mission all the more difficult. Our next report telling you more.
A minute's silence at the exact moment the earthquake struck, marking a tribute to those who lost their lives Myanmar is in mourning. With each passing hour, hope of finding survivors is fading. The strongest earthquake to hit the country in a century has reduced many communities to rubble. Over 4,500 people are injured and at least 440 remain missing. The latest collapsed apartment building showed she and her sister clinging on to their injured grandmother, their voices calling out for help from beneath the wreckage. They were rescued, but countless others remained buried under concrete and steel. A rare moment in the country's capital offered a glimmer of hope. A 63-year-old woman was pulled alive from the rubble. Amid the devastation, the world has stepped in to help. India launched Operation Brahma to assist Myanmar's rescue and relief efforts. Personnel from India's National Disaster Response Force are on the ground, searching for survivors. Meanwhile, the Indian Army has set up a fully functional field hospital in Mandalay, offering critical care to the injured. Deployed with the help of 2 Indian Air Force C-17 aircraft, this hospital provides much-needed medical relief with 200 beds and surgical capabilities. Local hospitals continue to be overwhelmed, with many of the injured awaiting treatment. Aid groups and the United Nations warn of an impending humanitarian disaster. With hunger and diseases looming large over the already devastated communities, even before this disaster, Myanmar's ongoing civil war and poor infrastructure made it one of the toughest places in the world for humanitarian efforts. And amidst all this, the junta continues airstrikes across the country, further deepening the crisis. The road to recovery will be long, but for now, the immediate battle is to save as many lives as possible before time runs out. Bureau Report, WION The World is One.